You better lock in and buckle up, bucko, because you're in for another mysterious and disturbing TikToks that kept me up all night. Remember, these videos are strictly for entertainment purposes only. Don't believe everything you hear or see. These are just theories, not facts. With that being said, let's dive in.
This is the true cost of provoking demons.
Y'all really need to watch out for provoking spirits. These spirits are very smart, but they're weak and they prey on strong people. These type of spirits will bring you into fury and let you win the battle, because winning the argument does not make them feel like they won. Getting you out your character and wasting your energy makes them feel like they won. Provoking spirits gets a high out of bringing people out of their character. They get a high out of making people act out of their emotions. You have to know how to identify one of these and control yourself when one of these are attacking you. Because y'all have to realize we are in spiritual warfare. Y'all gotta stop looking at things physically all the time. Because if you don't realize that a provoking spirit inhabits people's body, you will be lost. A provoking spirit can inhabit anybody. It can be your friends, your family, your significant other, or it can be a quote-unquote op. A provoking spirit don't care about physical things. So they'll get you to a point to where you them. And you know what? They still won. Because they got you to a point where you just threw your life away. Because all that spirit is going to do is jump in another person's body and do the same thing to them that they just did to you.
Y'all ever see one of these? These right here, they broadcast loop frequency pulses. It scrambles your third eye and gut. That's why you feel off, lost, or trapped in repetitive thoughts in your... This right here, it's grounded. It pulls in natural magnetic flow from the earth and runs it through this tech spine. Your own grounding gets hijacked. Y'all ever see one of these?
No, I haven't, but I can tell you they up to no good.
Most pharaohs were crowned with a single serpent, the fiery Uraeus. But Tutankhamun's burial mask bears a rarer splendor, the cobra and the vulture together. This double crest is no mere ornament. It magnifies his divine guardianship and speaks to a kingdom reunified after the turbulence of the Amarna period. Most pharaohs were crowned with a single serpent.
He had the vulture next to it. Why pick a vulture though? You can have a lion, you can have a jaguar, you can have anything. A vulture? It's just an evil tone about a vulture, if you ask me.
You've probably observed this paradox yourself. People who claim to fight for justice while attacking others with vicious cruelty. Groups that preach tolerance while demanding complete conformity. Movements that promise to save society while destroying individuals who disagree. Your instincts were telling you something was psychologically inconsistent about these patterns. Jung validated what you've suspected. These contradictions aren't accidents. They're collective shadow possession playing out in real time. You've likely watched people you know become unrecognizable when they join certain groups or movements, and now you understand why. Let me show you how Jung's shadow mechanism operates in specific digital contexts.
Is Jung pouring up? What's going on here?
That you've probably witnessed firsthand. Consider what happens during viral cancellation events. A public figure makes a mistake or says something controversial. Within hours, thousands of people who have never met this person are demanding their complete destruction. Not just criticism, but total annihilation of their career, relationships, and reputation. You've probably participated in some version of this yourself. Maybe you've shared a post condemning someone's behavior, feeling righteous and justified. Jung would ask, what shadow material are you projecting onto this person? What part of yourself are you trying to destroy through them? The person cancelled for being privileged becomes a repository for everyone's guilt about their own advantages. The individual destroyed for being fake carries the projection of everyone's inauthenticity. The figure vilified for being selfish becomes the target for everyone's disowned self-centeredness. You've seen how these collective attacks have an almost religious fervor, because they're serving a psychological function that has nothing to do with justice. You've probably observed this paradox yourself.
To actually find it on body cam footage is insane to see. Just you wait till the end of the video. Trust me, you don't want to miss this, and share this video around.
Hi.
Yeah, she just gotta go.
How are you?
She just gotta go.
Hi.
Yeah, she just gotta go.
How are you? Do you have your ID with you?
I don't.
What's your name?
Irene.
Irene. What's your last name, Irene?
Bejard Wilson.
Can you spell that for me?
Big Disney princess, just so you know.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
I'm the voice of Pocahontas.
Really?
Yeah, you're gonna find me in your thing right now.
Why would I do that?
Because I am a 53-year-old Native American woman who has had enough. That's it.
It's your cell phone.
I don't know what that is.
Stop.
I don't know what that is.
Stop!
This is one of the craziest clips I've seen. They literally...
What happened? I'm trying to figure it out. Was something supposed to be chasing her? I guess something's supposed to be right there. Maybe they blurred it out, or am I just missing something completely here?
Alright, this farmer was having problems with his chickens coming up missing. He was expecting to find some type of wolf or fox. Instead, he found this on his camera. Y'all look at this Bigfoot-like creature carrying what looks like possibly a chicken in his hand, I'm not sure. Look at the build of this creature. This footage to me looks real. Alright, this farmer was having problems with his chickens coming up missing.
Bigfoot wanted a 20-piece to go, no side, no drink, no biscuits, no honey. Oh my goodness. My man is a little stuffy too.
This footage to me looks real. Alright, this farmer was having problems.
Yeah, he a little bit stuffy. It's okay, brother. I'm gonna pray for you.
Emotions are trapped in the body as magnetic fields, and those magnetic fields tend to end up being trapped in teeth as well. The majority of chronic illness actually begins with an emotional event. Let me say that one more time. The majority of chronic disease actually begins as an emotional event. And that emotion is a magnetic field that starts blocking the circuit by getting caught in one of the teeth. And as it does so, it begins to lower the voltage in the tooth. Dr. Steinman showed that every tooth has within it a pump that pumps fluid from inside the tooth to inside the mouth, and that's what keeps you from getting cavities. When the pump begins to fail, then infection comes from the mouth into the tooth and begins to cause decay. The emotion begins to lower the voltage enough in the tooth that the pump begins to fail, and then you begin to get a cavity, and then you begin to get a crown, and then you begin to eventually keep going until you get a root canal, and then that leads eventually to having a malignancy. Speaking, most of the emotions, or most of the chronic disease we have, we can trace back to an emotion that has blocked a particular muscle battery pack by blocking the tooth that's involved with it. When you look at this particular slide, you might ask the question, didn't anybody ever teach you not to put so many numbers on one slide? Well, I did it on purpose because I wanted you to get the gestalt of it. A pH of 7.35 is the same as minus 20 millivolts. 7.44 is the same as minus 25. So that's where our cells normally run. But as voltage begins to drop, then things begin to get worse and worse for us until we finally get down to plus 30 millivolts. All cancers occur at plus 30 millivolts. What you see is that normal tissue is running at electron donor, which is minus 25 millivolts. And as you go past zero, you have flipped the polarity. Every battery, as you know, has a plus on one end and a minus on the other. And as you drain the battery all the way to zero, it flips its polarity upside down. And so when the polarity reverses is when and it gets all the way down to plus 30 millivolts is when malignancies occur. The amount of oxygen that will dissolve in water is dictated by the voltage of the water. So as the water inside of our cells has lower and lower voltage, then the oxygen in the cell comes out of the cell and disappears. And when you finally flip the polarity, there is so little oxygen capability in the cell that the stem cells recognize that signal that, hey, we just ran out of oxygen here. Please help. And so stem cells go over and invade the local blood supply and create a mass of blood vessels, which is indistinguishable from a placenta in a pregnant female. Emotions are trapped in the body as magnetic fields, and those magnetic...
What an interesting theory.
I really dislike the word particle. Wish we'd get rid of it from our vocabulary. What's actually happening, in my view, is a centralization of forces, a body center. There's no real particle there. There's nothing there. There's nothing hard there. It's motion. It's just forces in motion around each other create what appears to be a solid object. And we already know that's not true. You know, there is no solid object there. We can describe the effect 16 ways from Sunday in standard physics, but we have no clue, and I have never found one document in the standard literature that says one iota about rotation. So up here where it says sympathetic affinity, that's what I was talking about, the cumulative power coming into the center. This accumulates into the center. You know, another word I sometimes don't like to use is the word love, because nobody understands what it is. But love is nothing more than sympathy, sympathetic action, sympathetic association, sympathetic resonance. Those are all synonyms for love. So it's not something airy-fairy and touchy-feely. This is a physical phenomenon. Even these particles sense that, and when they sense it, they come together because they're in mutual resonance. There was some work done in the 1800s in Paris, and it talks about vibrating or oscillating two different tiny metallic balls, and when the frequencies are the same, they come together. And when the frequencies are different, they go apart. So sympathy, sympathetic vibration, which nowadays they're trying to call quantum entanglement, when the particles have the same chords of vibration, they come together. That's, what are you going to call that? You can call it love, and you're not wrong. So that's what's happening here. When we have a group of people around a dinosaur having a good time, they're feeling good about themselves, they're not at war with the world, they're happy, these particles start to concentrate. That gas that's in the dinosaur starts to concentrate to the center. More and more and more power accumulates in the center of that dinosaur, and it's going like this, faster and faster and faster and faster. I really dislike the word particle.
Well, love has so many different meanings. I feel like, what was there? Agape, Adante, you know, Euros, the word love, and they have so many different types of words for the name. Agape, Euros, Storge. You know, there's so many different meanings for the word love. And especially the most important one from our Heavenly Father. You know, a terrifying sight to see. Spotted a creature sitting outside seaside out of water on a beach in Florida.
The video that went viral of a guy who was at a beach late at night, and he said he saw something. Everyone in the comments were saying that it was a siren. But yeah, look at this. Look at that right there. What is that? It looks like it's kind of sitting there. And I went ahead and freeze framed it and blew it up. And as you can see, it does look like something's sitting right there. But what is that? Now, I don't know what that truly was, but as you can see, it does look like a figure that was sitting right there. But I want to know, what do you guys think that was?
It does look like some type of merman or a mermaid. Oh, wow. You can see the fin. I was looking at him waiting for him to quick turn and give us the look. That would have been scary. She found this lurking inside this cave.
Yeah. What are you?
I am really disappointed that we didn't get any close-up shots of this, but to be fair, I can understand why this person was afraid. This looks pretty creepy. This TikTok video that I got tagged in shows a person walking on a beach in New Zealand. They're going past this cave. They then look inside of the cave and we see this really weird object that kind of resembles a spider, and they're wondering what it is. The first thing that people thought this was an aloe ferox plant that had died and washed up on the beach. And while this does look quite similar, because this video was recorded in New Zealand, it is highly unlikely because aloe ferox does not natively grow there. A lot of people also thought that it was an animal of some kind, but again, that's really not realistic. Instead, I think it's more than likely some type of seaweed. And if I had to venture a guess for a specific type of seaweed, I would guess a bull kelp, because they're large, they have very thick tentacle-like structures, and it would make sense for it to wash up on the beach. That being said, that's just my guess, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.
I don't know. That's a crazy amount of thick seaweed. I do wish she would have got up closer and we could have seen something better of it, because it looks like alien by species. It looks like some type of straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's the first glance I see looking at it. And these things, I had no idea. I don't know if this is a starfish or what that gets up walking the water. That's absolutely crazy. It says the objects are actually dead aloe plants that have washed on shore, not sea creatures or aliens. A South African farmer took the photos to raise environmental awareness of these images and mistook these plants for something else. At first glance, I'm thinking starfish.
So, Internet of Bio Nano Things, chips in people. Yeah, we already have the medical body area network. And the Internet of Bio Nano Things brings now connectivity at the molecular, at the cellular level. That is their vision. Yeah, the telecommunication industry has already deployed this system, Internet of Bio Nano Things in humans. Please take a look at the PDF that Ayush Bhatnagar shared on LinkedIn. Yeah? Let me just briefly go over it again. I'm going to clip this particular video later on so you can listen to it again. So here is the PDF. Invisible intelligence already deployed in the population worldwide. Connect the unseen, molecule, cells, and smart matter.
What if they announced this and they'd be like, hey, it's not a big deal. We released these nanoparticles in preparation for 6G, so it enhanced the experience. Don't worry, it's going to be nice. What if they really did come out and say that, though?
In this box it says nano machine, nano router, nano cluster head. Ubiquitous connectivity, including the inside of the human body. And then later on it goes into the healthcare side of things, enabling networks inside the body. IOBNT connects nanoscale devices directly with biological systems. These nanobiosensors and actuators can monitor, diagnose, and even treat conditions from inside the body in real time. By integrating biological data with AI-powered networks, IOBNT
That is crazy. It reminds me of those smart beds.
enables personalized, responsive healthcare at an unprecedented scale. 6G will power in-body networks that monitor health and deliver treatments connecting humans at the molecular scale. Yeah, and this is what it looks like. And the doctors have a really difficult time to, be honest about the system that has already been deployed, including the bio-cyber interfaces.
Bio-cyber interfaces. Is that how these ads that be popping up, that how they read my mind and I'll see the ads pop up that I haven't even mentioned? I could just be thinking of something and this thing, an ad's gonna pop up. It's like, man, how did they know? They might have the bio-cyber interface going on. The bio-cyber interface is already in the prelude stages.
This is our current medical body area network system, telemetry, wireless telemetry system. Cloud-linked medical access, real-time data sharing with healthcare professionals via secure bio-cyber interfaces. So I would like to hear Brandy Smith cover the topic because she posted a publication about the Internet of Bio-Nano Things and the Medical Bio-Cyber Interface, the Internet within, already deployed.
Drop your thoughts in the comments below. They gonna connect this to digital IDs, and man, this is gonna be crazy.
Look at this. This, if you can see it, these are Dollar General sidewalk solar lamps. I modified them and turned them into a solar panel. And now I have, you can see it. I don't know if you can see it in this light, but anyway, there's about 46 volts there. And you're thinking, okay, what's the big deal? The big deal is this is a non-hydrocarbon based source, which means it's electromagnetic from our sun, photonic. So it's an electromagnetic source of energy. Why is that so big? Because it's the same source of energy that is around our planet in our electromagnetosphere. So it's like and similar to the source of true energy, which is the sun. So now you have 46 volts here, but can you think of what makes your lightning in the planet and the huge electromagnetic energy source that the planet generates? Now you have a voltage differential. You have 1,000,000 trillion volts up in the atmosphere, and you've got 50 volts down here. That's a huge differential. And when you learn how to leverage it and focus that electromagnetic energy of the planet, you better get out of the way, because I can focus it and put it right through your chest. And they don't allow me to have a lathe, so I had to have my former brother-in-law made me a very nice wheel at one time, because they don't allow me to have lathes, because it's part of my non-disclosure agreements with the United States Navy. So it's difficult for me to make these machines when they won't allow me the tools to do it with, because they know what I can do with it, and they've kept me suppressed. So it's taken me a little longer to do this stuff, because I have to figure out a way to find the precision and the ability to hold things and machine things without the tools that everybody else has in their access. So I've been under a squash for a long time, but now it's coming out, and I'm going to put together, and I'm going to change your world. It's up to you to listen or you don't. But these are Dollar General $1.50 solar panel sidewalk lamps, and I'm generating almost 50 volts. Sometimes I can get about 50 volts out of that. Now there's no amperage, it's milliamps, yeah, but it's not about the amperage, it's about the leverage of the planet's energy. The actual electromagnetic field of the planet is full of positrons. It's full of oppositely rotating electrons. But you can't figure it out when you use oil-based energies, because they're too dissimilar. They're not of the same form. So now I have like and similar source energy, which is electromagnetic, and it's compatible with the electromagnetic signature of the planet. Now I have that leverage ability. Now get the out of my way, because I'm not around. Look at this. This.
I bet you didn't think you were going to see dollar store solar panels today. Me either. Please don't attempt or reenact anything you hear or see on this video. It is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Speculation purposes only. But you gotta admit, you know, when the zombie apocalypse gets here, and we're all, but you gotta admit the survival skills are definitely there. I want to see it power something, like power a Game Boy or a phone charger or something.
Seen these? These are star holes from Poland. Why are they weird? Because they twist on the way in. This would be hard in wood, but these are in granite. And they're ancient. Now try searching this. Google's AI will beat you to the punch and say this is not evidence for advanced technology. That is dumb. Star holes are older than the Egyptians. The Egyptians used a blade that thick to cut granite. The mainstream explanation that nobody believes anymore is copper tubes and sand. As an engineer, that's a shit idea. But we have this guy now. This is an ancient core of a tube drill. A drill leaves a spiral mark as it drills into the rock. That took 4 days, by the way. That method does not. The speed at which the ancient Egyptian drill went into the rock was faster than this drill right here. Just sit with that one for a second. Then some Russian dudes tried to prove that you could make hieroglyphs with flint and a hammer. Did a pretty good job. That took them 4 hours. Here's something to consider. This obelisk sits outside of Luxor Temple. It sits on top of a red quartzite base. See how deep those are? Red quartzite is harder than granite. They carved both those with a rock. I'm not kidding, that's the story. Back to Poland. The reason why I brought Egypt up is because in World War II, they discovered these passage mounds in Poland. After excavating them, they discovered that they have megalithic foundations. I have some theories on this. Most of them include using vibration, which is carved all over Egypt. I cover all this in excruciating detail in Unfiltered Egypt. I do not post those here due to the platform's limitations. To me, these are in the same category as the paper-thin vases that are extremely precise from Egypt as well.
Damn, vibration? That's a great idea. Because it would get it looking like that. I was thinking heat, like some type of solar ancient technology they harvest where it could, but you don't see any burn marks. So, man. And it's almost like they were testing it out, making sure they had the right bit on this one. That is crazy.
Before the Great Flood, before the cutting of the massive ancient trees, everything was much larger than. Before the Great Flood.
Scorpion is wild. Giant cobra is insane.
These are the footprints that were left behind after the Red Sea crossing. What's so interesting about this discovery is that the footprints appear to be solidified in the seabed, along with rock-hard sand that has actually melted and fused together, with some archaeologists even comparing it to glass as it's become so brittle. This aligns with the biblical narrative in Exodus 14, where it describes God as a pillar of fire. The intense heat from the fire could potentially explain how the footprints became fossilized, preserving this moment in history as evidence of the miraculous crossing. Some researchers also point to the fact that this area, Nuweiba Beach, has long been identified as the crossing site, due to the discovery of an underwater land bridge beneath the Red Sea, suggesting a possible route for a mass crossing. Not only that, there are claims of chariot wheels and human remains found on the seafloor, adding to the supporting evidence. With all these discoveries, as well as the solidified footprints in the area, has led many to believe this is where the Red Sea crossing actually took place. These are the footprints.
And this one was outside Saudi Arabia. And I know a lot of people say that there's actually a Red Sea right outside California. So that makes you think, which one was it? Did they find footprints and chariot wheels over there outside Cali or what?
Okay, this can't be real. How was this not worldwide breaking news when it came out? A galactic Okay, this can't be real. How was this not worldwide breaking news when it came out? A galactic federation of aliens exists. President Trump and the Israeli government know about it, and we're working with them on Mars. This was an official news release back in 2020, revealed in an interview by a former Israeli space security chief, where he admitted that our governments are in contact with extraterrestrials from a, quote, galactic federation, and that they've specifically asked their points of human contact to not reveal that they're here, that
Hold on. You guys see the Antarctic Treaty in the back. For speculation purposes only, what if it's not all the way in outer space, but this was actually beyond the wall and this was true? That would be crazy.
Humanity is not yet ready for full-on public disclosure. According to him, they have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand, in general, what space and spaceships are. So it seems like they're waiting for our space exploration technology to get better, at which point they'll welcome us into their galactic federation. The supposed whistleblower's name is Haim Eshed, who spent 30 years as head of Israel's Defense Ministry's space security program. A highly respected professor and well-decorated retired general. This guy ain't no kook. He also said there is an agreement between the US government and the aliens. They, the aliens, signed a contract with us to do experiments here on Earth. So they're using our planet as a petri dish for what I assume is biological experimentation on us. They even have a few other cooperation agreements signed between our species, including an underground base in the depths of Mars, where there are American astronauts and alien representatives working together. All according to this guy, take it up with him. Apparently, Trump is well aware of this galactic federation and was on the verge of revealing it to the public just a few years ago, but was specifically asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria, which I think we can all agree would happen if news like this came out. White House and Pentagon officials declined to comment on this. Kinda sketch.
It would. Just imagine if like a lot of these conspiracies came true. That would definitely be a disruption. People wouldn't know what to do.
Decided to speak out about this in 2020 as he claimed people became more receptive of extraterrestrials and UFOs by then. Which, yeah, 2020 was the year the Pentagon released their confirmed UFO videos for the first time in history, letting us know they have no idea what the they're dealing with, which was also just 1 year after Trump officially established the United States Space Force in 2019. Maybe that was his way of hinting at something he couldn't talk about. But of course, the mainstream consensus around this guy is that he's just old and senile with nothing to lose, around 88 years old at the time his claims were made, and that he was just promoting his book, The Universe Beyond the Horizon, where he makes claims that include stories of how aliens prevented nuclear disasters. But this man isn't your typical conspiracy whack job like me. He is a high-ranking and well-decorated military space intelligence official with master's and doctorate degrees in aeronautical engineering. Did he just decide to tarnish his lifelong reputation by making up something like this to sell a book, or are we about to join a real-life galactic federation? Okay.
You got the Palladians, you got the Garthians, you got the people in the Ancestral Republic. You know, it's so many of them. The Anunnaki, you know, is... Which classification is each one of them classified under the Galactic Federation? Scientists have discovered what might be the largest spider web in the world, found in a cave straddling the border of Greece and Albania.
A massive spider web was discovered in an underwater cave on the border of Greece and Albania. According to a study published in the journal Subterranean Biology, the web stretches more than 100 square meters along the wall of the cave and is likely the largest in the world. Scientists estimate that more than 110,000 spiders from 2 different species are living in the caves. This is the first time those 2 species were found to have cooperated with one another. A massive spider web.
Are you kidding me? And she's just poking it like this is no big deal. Check this out. Don't you know there's a giant Aragon back there from Harry Potter about to crawl down? Those things just dangling down. Oh, no. I want nothing to do with this cave. That's the Lord of the Rings cave that you need to pass through to go to Mordor. We know all about that. All right, y'all. We got good footage of a moose and a Sasquatch going at it.
Giant Colorado Sasquatch caught between a hunter and 2 battling bull moose.
This footage was captured north of Steamboat Springs, Colorado, in the middle of nowhere. I have enlarged the cell phone video by 175%. I'll show the 14 seconds and over 300 frame section of the footage with the subject of interest and enhance the lighting so that we can see the details of the subject hiding in the shadows of cover. This thing appears to shift slowly and nervously as it stares at the hunter filming it, with two bull moose that walk past and behind it, then start to fight.
Look how giant this Bigfoot is compared, because moose are already huge. Moose are like a tank, but this is like 3 tanks stacked on top of each other. This is massive. This is probably the largest Bigfoot footage I've ever seen.
I'll then show the entire video with the lighting enhanced, followed by the original footage. Maybe you can see something else in this amazing video, something that I may have missed. John writes RMSO. I believe my buddy captured a Sasquatch watching him during a hunting trip in Colorado. I would very much like your opinion. RMSO responds, Hi Tracy, we can enhance, enlarge, or stabilize the video if needed to get a better look and let our viewers decide for themselves. John continues, A buddy of mine sent me this video of some moose fighting while on a hunting trip in Colorado. He had no idea. I spotted the Bigfoot watching him in the video. Our giant Colorado Sasquatch.
Hey, the sheer size of it was giving me Sully from Monsters Inc. vibes. All right, look at this. It almost looks like it has some black at the middle. Octahedrals all the way around. Giving off like a, not really, a little bit darker than lavender this time. Yeah, this is a unique one. What would you name this one? If I had to name this one, I would call it Lavender Night Vision Goggles. But no, it's like these two things poking at you are kind of like the eyes. Then you got your infrared camera on the front. I don't know. What would you guys name this? That's all we have for today's video. The code word for today is...
The video on the Bird app, and what it's showing is a giant wall of ice under Antarctica. And this wall of ice seems to be going to the very bottom of the ocean, but also running underneath the sand. I do wonder why this video is not more public than it should be. You know, you figure they find these giant walls that all of science would know. And by the way, look at the color of this so-called wall of ice. It looks very similar to something that's above our head. And in coming across that video, it reminded me a ton of Admiral Byrd's expedition to Antarctica. And the footage we have of that, which most people aren't even aware of. The only way you even come across is if you look really heavily into it. But there was like crazy, crazy tall ice that they had to literally do a high jump to get onto. I'm gonna fast forward right now because they literally had hundreds of miles of just a giant, giant wall of ice.
Operation High Jump is another dive.
I wonder why we're not talking about this crazy video on the...
I guess Operation High Jump was the supposed way of how they got on top of the ice wall.
Again, check it out. So at first I thought this was just a glare, right? Because when it gets closer, it looks like that. But then watch. It literally bounces. Give it a second. Give it a second. Give it a second. Right there. Boom. And then boom. Woo-wee. Boom. What the heck? Alright, I don't know what's happening on this live stream, but look at that. Boom. All the way up to the sky. It's even leaving a streak. And then another one. Look at that. And here's another one. Look at that. What in the world? It literally left a streak. Let me rewind that and I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. What the hell? And then look, I literally paused it right when this one is leaving. I'm gonna press play and you're gonna see it just go. What in the world?
I think a couple of those were birds, but this one in the beginning is definitely, that one's definitely is a mystery. But the rest of these, like this one, how it hit the water and then it dove in and something shot up, that is interesting. That was what we call a USO. Unidentified submerged object.
There's a really interesting place in Nevada, deep in the desert, called Devil's Hole. And no, I'm not talking about your ex-wife. This is Devil's Hole in Death Valley, Nevada, and this is a very strange aquifer with chambers that go so deep that they've only been measured up to 1,200 feet, and they don't know how far down it goes. There have been divers that have gone down and tried to survey these caves, and there's been recreational divers that have gone down in here, and some of the ones that went down into the deepest chambers, they encountered a current that sucked them in, and they went missing and were never recovered, and they haven't figured out how far down this cave actually goes. But one thing is really interesting. Even though this Devil's Hole is in Nevada, when there's earthquakes in Japan, in Mexico, and in Chile, the water in Devil's Hole splashes around, and sometimes it splashes up to 6.5 feet out of the hole. Devil's Hole is also home to one of the most rare fish on Earth, the pupfish, and nobody even knows how it got there. But they're blue and they're cute, and I think they're really cool. I think it's fascinating that there's...
Are they freshwater? That is indeed another mystery.
Did you know there are more pyramids in America than there are in Egypt? In fact, I would go as far to say there are more pyramids in America than anywhere else in the world. Most of them are just buried and covered up, hidden right beneath the surface. Like this one here, Tum Tum Mountain in Washington State. I mean, just look at these similarities between one of the now famously uncovered pyramids. It would look just like a hill to most of you blind observers today too. But the perfect angles and symmetry are undeniable. Just look at the shadow it even casts. Nature does not work in such perfect straight lines and symmetry. And when you take a look at it from above on Google Earth, it becomes even that much more obvious. You can even see the base of the pyramid here. Just one of dozens of pyramids in Washington State. But look how clear it is. From any angle you can find on Google Earth, from any street view, which unfortunately, believe it or not, is kind of hard to do for the street views because it stops abruptly right about here. And there's a big private no trespassing sign and a gate here. And that's as far as you can see on street view. Did you know there are more pyramids in America than there are in Egypt?
What is this called? Tum Tum Mountain? Tum Tum Mountain. Wow, there it is. All right. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. You really can't hide it. They can try to hide it, but look, it is obvious. Look, I can look away and I can look back and I can find it. There it is. It doesn't look natural. For entertainment purposes only, you better not come for me. Wow. Where's the nearest view? Oh, you can go up in there. Take me to Street View. That's their research center, man. Look, they're camping right there at the research center, and then they're walking, exploring this whole thing out already. They think they sneaky. That's why there's nothing on Tum Tum Mountain. Take me to the street. Take me to the streets. Which way is the mountain? Alright, let's back up. Yeah, right here. Take me to the streets. Oh, they got it blocked off. What does it say? FS54 classified. Oh my goodness. This is FS54 classified. What does that say? Can anybody tell me what this says? They got it blocked. Oh, man. I wonder if they got this at all pyramid sites in America.
This is one of the only terracotta warriors out of the 2,000 discovered so far that is almost complete. Pay attention to the details on the shoe. The grip print and notches indicate that already 2,200 years ago, comfort, grip, and stability were considered.
AI has absolutely ruined my mind because I'm looking at this the whole time. I'm thinking, is it AI generated?
Look at you, little guy.
No.
You really do look like a tiny Nessie. Those eyes are wild.
See, this is a prime example. Look at this. They got a baby Loch Ness monster.
Just cruising around like you own the tank. All right, buddy. Say bye.
Detail of one of the two lioness heads from a ritual bed found in the tomb of King Tutankhamun. The head is carved from solid wood, covered with gesso, and then gilded. Inlays of bright blue glass were used for the nose and teardrops. Detail of one of the two.
I kind of thought it was Winnie the Pooh at first glance, and then I see the details. I'm like, okay, this is a Egyptian artifact of a lion.
There's the big one. That's a big boy. Here comes another one, but did you all see? I gotta go back and that last clip. I gotta go back. A big boy. Sorry guys, TikTok bashed my video again, but I could not delete it. I didn't want to lose the footage. Note to self, don't record inside of TikTok. At any rate, you can see it going into the plane, but you don't see anything dropping from the plane, going above the plane, going behind the plane. Like, it just disappears. What do y'all think it is? A drone or a bird? Let me know what you think in the comments below. The next 30 seconds is just me playing with the timeline, going back and forth, seeing if I can see anything. Let me know if y'all see anything.
Yeah, it looked like a bird. If you thought you weren't going to get an excellent specimen today, think again. Using. There it is. Definitely some quartz through there. What the rest is, I couldn't tell you. Oh, okay, when you look into it, it's got like some brown fireworks in there. Okay. Names, y'all. I need names for this. This is not an easy one. What would you name this? I would call it the miniature. Guys, I do not have a name for this. You guys got to tell me for this. Drop it in the comments below. We got some brown fireworks in the inside. That's probably the best I got is some caramel fireworks. As if I had to name this one. Caramel fireworks.
Thank you for that lovely animation, Sandra. Excellent work. The mercury arc rectifier is a type of cold cathode gas-filled tube, but it is unusual that the cathode, instead of being solid, is made from a pool of liquid mercury and is therefore self-restoring. As a result, mercury arc valves were much more rugged and long-lasting and could carry much higher currents than most other types of gas discharge tube. Some of these mercury arc rectifiers are still in use today. You see, mercury has a very good use in converting alternating current to direct current. This was obviously used extensively in ancient times. If you remember, I mentioned they found amounts of mercury below a pyramid in Mexico. You can now see its purpose, converting alternating current to direct current. So the Dendera light bulb now helps me decode a larger piece of the puzzle. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honour to present to you the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is a mercury arc rectifier. It tells you this in your holy books. You will see me between the wings of angels. This is God. God is light, the electrical energy that is involved in the creation of all things. This creator is teaching science and knowledge, and how we as human beings can work with God to benefit humanity. To work with God requires you to know the rules of these electrical processes. God will work with you, not for you. Walter Russell. Edison's problems of sending DC current longer distance came with its problems and fires were common. Tesla's idea was to send the alternating current to your homes and have the appliances convert it to DC electric current, which is for the most part still taking place today using semiconductors. So we are basically paying for the privilege of a spiral entering our homes and bringing appliances to life. Alternating current that is free and plentiful, that will never exhaust itself and has always been here since this construct's creation. Take this most sacred of knowledge and share it far and wide, for it belongs to you all. Our ancients knew this and left for us all the clues which we have decoded. My next step, of course, would have been to see how it can be harvested in more modern times. But someone else already figured this part out by identifying the spires on most buildings are actually there to harvest from the ether. They are antennas. I'm not sure who came to this conclusion, but it is 100% correct and very good research. Do let me know who discovered this so I can credit you correctly in our next video. Very well done. Excellent research. The missing component from your antenna decode is the mercury arc rectifier, or as replaced within modern times, a semiconductor. So the old world science and technology now meets the new world science and technology, and as you can see, they're very much the same. APM research have decoded the ancients' understanding of the ether, the Milky Way, and how to harness and generate electricity, including the demonstrations and science required.
That's interesting. I want to know more about that Mexico having a river of mercury under it. I heard of the terracotta warriors during the Emperor's Chamber had some mercury under it, but that was the first time I heard an Aztec temple having it.
A mercury pool was discovered at the Teotihuacan Pyramids, a pre-Columbian archaeological site in Mexico, bringing to light new aspects of Aztec culture and their understanding of the cosmos. Located underneath the Pyramid of the Sun, the largest structure in Teotihuacan, the mercury pool measures around 6 feet deep and 15 feet in diameter, making it a significant underground feature. The pool contains liquid mercury, a rarity in the archaeological world, suggesting the pool had significant ceremonial or symbolic significance to the people of Teotihuacan. Archaeologists theorize that the mercury pool may represent an underworld water body like a lake or sea, echoing beliefs in Mesoamerican cosmology about reflective surfaces being portals to other worlds. The construction of the mercury pool would have been a complex task, requiring advanced knowledge and techniques, further highlighting the sophistication of Teotihuacan society.
All right, well, you know we gotta go look it up. What? Teotihuacan. Hey, we're gonna figure it out, y'all. Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan. I better put this on Google first to spell it. Teotihuacan. Is this it? Oh, we found it. Good footage. All right, guys. This supposedly is where the Mercury rivers were. Maybe it was running all the way through this. Every single one of them was getting hit by some Mercury rivers. Look at the hot air balloons. How cool is that? Oh, look at that in the background. You see it? That's where we need to go. This is like the baby brother where we're at. I wonder if it connected all of these. Because it looks like it matches up. Look, there's another one over in the distance. Oh yeah. They are on top of it. Look at that view. This is probably where the Mercury rivers was definitely running through. If anything. Wow. That's it.
Hidden within the lush jungle of Bali, the Taman Beji Gria waterfall is not only a sacred natural site, but also home to this breathtaking dragon sculpture carved directly into the rock. Water flows from the creature's mouth, merging art, myth, and nature in a powerful display. The site is believed to be several centuries old, yet its exact age remains unknown. Hidden
in the lush jungles of Bali. You know, we got to see if we can find this place. Because I just find this place extraordinary. Oh, I think we found it. Yeah, right. Well, this is where it's located, but unfortunately there's no pictures. There's a couple. Let's see what they got. This is the street view. Wow, look at the temple. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's not what we came here for, but this is definitely extraordinary, whatever it is. Some type of, I don't even know what to call this. Symmetric pillars? What is this, guys? Let's keep going on this adventure. What's over here? Okay, nothing to see. Yeah, what are those? There's a better look at one. They're extremely cool. I like them, but it remains a mystery. What is this ornament on top? Are they conducting? I'm trying to conduct too. Wow, this is ancient. Look at this. Wow. What type of monster is that? It's like a dragon demon. You can see the fangs. What are y'all guarding? Is that a cloth? It is a complete mystery. What is back there? Man, that's it. That's a mystery. I'll tell you what. We wanted that rainfall. Mystery temple. But it looks like you gotta leave off the street to see anything. I managed to find something in the city, and look at this. I wonder why they would block that out. Is this some type of rare plant? Our quest for the hidden serpent rainforest will have to continue. That's all we have for today's video. If you made it this far, go ahead and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And the code word for today is SuperJet. Go ahead and drop SuperJet in the comments below. When you do that, that lets me know you made it all the way through the video and you really rock with your boy. And I just want to say thank you for your support and hanging with me. And this was mysterious and disturbing TikToks that kept me up all night. I'm Jetski Chuck, signing out.